Happy Tuesday. It is
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
He
It's
said Thursday.
Thursday, Tuesday.
You are
Hey,
fucked up.
hey, at least it starts, at least I was right. It started with the T, which is today. Crypto and coffee with your trading bros. I'm your host, Clutch Crypto.
Hey,
We got B. Wellington over here playing around on his charts. We didn't do just a heck of a whole lot yesterday with New York being closed. So um, let's take a look and see if
we got to
we're,
see what happens today. But look,
I see these bulls are ready, man.
uh, yeah, I mean, Bulls have been ready because every time we get any glimmer to the upside, Bulls are on board. And look at us right here. We've had 2 days of what you would call green candles. I mean, I wouldn't call these green, but they're to the upside. I'll still tell you that the volume still isn't, probably where it needs to be to signify that this is kind of a real run. I'd like to see some volume come into the candle. We also have this trend line here that, I believe that we need to retest, at some point in order to validate this move to the downside to go back up. And then we have, of course, these wicks here and here, and this is on the daily on the ETH USDT. And so I would anticipate that, we have this little run up today. I mean, like you mentioned, Clutch, the New York market was closed yesterday. So a lot of this is, part of that. But I do feel like this is part of a little bit of a stop hunt on the this little pump that we have here. Even though we do have a good amount of short volume liquidity to the upside, not as much as we've had in the last few days. So we could run a little bit. So just be careful. If you are running shorts, to maybe not use as much leverage or keep those tights keep those stops pretty tight. But we are here. This has been an area that we've struggled to get past. A few times. On the 200 on the 1 hour. We're looking to retest where the EU Brinks was. And so we'll just have to see if we can get through yesterday's high and get through this session here as far as the 200 is concerned. But we do have some vectors to the downside. We do have some zones, down here that we tend to come back to, as well as this, as well as the low here. So we'll just have to see. We're very early on the session. Um, if we go to lower time frames, we've had this steady progression up, up, and up. And so we're kind of getting at that point where, the market's going to have to make some decisions, whether it's going to break through that 200 and continue on up. If we do break up through that 200, I would expect, that we move up into this area, which is in the short term. Oh, I can't see. What is that?
1252.
1222, 1252. And so, we'll see if we can, breach up into that area. If we get up to that area, expect a retrace back into testing these EMAs before it potentially moves away from that. Looking for some volume to move away from that. If we look at things like open interest, which we do like to look at, we're at 3.7 billion. So we've been building open interest. We'll have to see if those positions are long or short. But I would imagine, with the move to the upside, that these are longs. Well, these could be shorts piling on. We'll just have to see. But we've also had some liquidation of some shorts as well. Looking at things like funding rate, you've got some of the major exchanges in the negative, right? But overall, I think, positive. I mean, I think we're probably neutral funding rate wise at this point in time. Um, we mentioned this earlier. If we look at the market itself, uh, Dow futures jump almost 500 points after a steep sell-off with sympathy bounce for global stocks. These are the headlines. So Dow's up, S&P's flat, Nasdaq is gaining. We'll have to see what that looks like over time. And we're on the first 30 minutes after a 3-day weekend. So, you know, anything can happen. Oil 110, it's still not great for the economy. Bitcoin up 2%, in line with, some of the things with the stock market. So we'll see that. And then looking at the news, yesterday we had some Fed comments. Didn't really hear anything out, but we've got Chicago Fed National Index, existing home sales. Let's see if there's anything important. We've got testimony, so the chairman's going to get grilled on policy this week, and so we'll probably get some insight about what they're feeling. But I know that with midterms coming up, Democrats are going to pressure the Fed chair to do something positive for the market because people are seeing their pensions and whatnot going down the drain. But Thursday we've got a lot more actual data that's coming out. So I think as always, Wednesday, Thursday are going to be big days, and then moving into Friday, we've got some news as well. So we'll just keep it right there. But that's all I got on my end. We had a nice little podcast last night. I'm still feeling the effects of it, but
we did, didn't we?
Yeah, man. Look, I feel like I'm a little slow today, but what do we got on High Block and Bookmap? Clutch.
Let's see what we got, man. So this is High Block Capital here, and when we talked about on Keaton's Corner last night, us getting up into this 1172 range to break and get into a new higher, and man, did we sure get up and in there and do that. Big deal is, just like we were just talking about, are we going to continue to the upside? As you can see, we've got quite a few long liquidations built up below us. It's just amazing how quickly all this happens. Just late last week, we had what was it, like 10 long liquidations and over 1,000 short liquidations.
Yeah, it was ridiculously weighted to the other side.
And so this is about $4 billion in long cumulative liquidation delta right here. Oh, sorry, it's up to $6 billion now. So do really pay attention. If we continue to break to the upside, I do have a little bit of insight on a potential area that may be where we're headed to. I'll show you here on Bookmap in a minute. But if we start breaking down, and I'm going to say if we get down past this 1051, I definitely expect some more price movement to the downside. If we get below 951, again, we'll be heading back down into probably that $800 range. And, based on everything that we're looking at, it's not really a matter of if we're going to get back down there. It's a matter of when. So you guys pay close attention to what's going on there. And then how we act on what we're doing right now. Because as you can see here on Bookmap, we just had a big green volume with the pink square, which is a bunch of shorts got picked up. So usually this is an indication of a possible reversal. We do have some orders up here at 1250. This is also at the top end of the session volume profile, which could be a good indication that we may make it up here. So about another $100, and then possibly get another reversal. And that 1250 was kind of right in the same area that you were talking about us getting up to on the TradingView chart a while ago. However, if you look to the downside, you see where all the big players are down here. We have 1,000. We have a bunch of orders down here at 900. We zoom out a little bit further, we'll get a little bit bigger picture here as far as what it does truly look like down to the downside. And, folks, it's been the same story for a while. All the long-term liquidity is sitting down here with a big dog right down here in this $400 range, which is, we've been talking $500 ETH for months now. We may actually even make it down into the $400. How low is it going to go? That's left to be determined at this point. But other than a short relief to the upside up to the 1250, and that's a maybe at best. Looks like overall we're hitting the downside still. And that's all I got.
Yeah, no, this pump is it looks in my opinion weak. We've moved up into this area. Yeah, I mean we've got some buying in the market side. I mean we'll see. That 1250 like we talked about. I mean that's in range, but um, we have to get past this 200 EMA on the 1 hour first, and we'll just have to see how that goes.
All right, guys. Be careful with your trades. Don't get trapped. And we'll see you next time tomorrow morning. Same time, same place.